Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Small Business Social, the podcast where we celebrate makers, dreamers, and doers building big things in their communities. I'm Kara Verikas.
And I'm Steve Seymour.
And we're here to shine a light on small business owners and experts who inspire us all. This episode is brought to you by Seymour Media, helping small business thrive with commercial photography and video, and the Bristol Bazaar, your go-to spot for the perfect gift. So another amazing, very special guest today is Megan.
It's Megan.
Hi. We are so excited to have you on today. I feel like this has been a long time coming, and I feel like you have such amazing things to share about your story, and I feel like you're just full of great information to help other small business owners. So please introduce yourself to all of our listeners and viewers, and we'll go from there.
All right. So essentially at 24 years old, I hit rock bottom. I had just called off my engagement. I had lost a family member super close to me, and I found myself in a career that I just did not love. And so I kind of went through the next couple of years, I kind of went through the motions of living without really living and enjoying my life. And my mom actually was the one who was like, you got to get it together. You got to start enjoying your life again. You're so young. And for me, I was like, I had a plan. My plan failed. And I'm at a point where like, I have no idea who I am. I have no idea what I'm going to do. Everyone around me is living their best life. Everyone around me is getting married, starting families, buying houses. And I'm like, I want that. And I was so far from it. So eventually I started my self-discovery journey. I started doing that work of, okay, who am I? What do I want to do with my life? And I actually started gaining momentum towards that. It took quite a few years. It was the pandemic where I really took the time to slow down and say, okay, what am I doing? And I'm happy to tell my story again about my little baby.
I think that's the perfect time is when the pandemic was happening because you had a lot more time to think about stuff. So I'm sure that helped.
It slowed everyone down. And I found so many people took that time to really think about like, what am I doing with my life? And
Exactly.
Who am I? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like I was pulling out of my driveway, heading into work because I was working in events and we were still working. And I was pulling out of my driveway and I looked at my window and my dog is sitting there staring at me. Like, why are you leaving? And I was just so
Is
heartbroken.
your dog in the background right now?
No. Do you hear a dog?
Yeah.
I hear a little something.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I am in the garage. They are in the house. We are nowhere near me.
Your husband? No, it's kidding.
No, I don't know who that is. But I was just thinking, like, if I'm having this reaction with a dog, how am I going to, like, act when I have a child? And so I really started to think about, okay, what does my life look like moving forward? And how can I be in a position where I can stay home with my kids? My future kids, because at that point I don't even think I was dating my husband. So how do I like put most things in motion to set myself up for success in a way that I wanted to be? And so that kind of got the ball rolling into getting my coach certification. And then
how hard is that to get certified?
It's about a year long, pretty intensive. There's actually a lot involved in it. And you do 3 intensive weekends where it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, basically all day. And you have to be on camera. You cannot, like, if you go to the restroom, you have to ask permission. Like, wow. It's intensive.
What do you mean by you have to be on camera?
So it was virtual. Because it was during because it was during the pandemic. So everything was virtual at that point. So there's 3 intensive weekends. And then in between those intensives, you do coaching sessions. So you coach someone and someone coaches you. And then on top of that, you have to do a certain amount of hours with clients that you find. And so it took about a year to do. And then at the end, there's a certification exam. You have to go through recordings. It's fairly intense.
That's amazing, though. And I think it's so cool that you took that path. I remember when we reconnected, I think it was during COVID, probably through, what is now Beachbody, like all that sort of stuff. Because it was so intense during the pandemic. Like I threw myself straight into that. And I remember reconnecting over that and seeing you, not streaming, but recording, all the different things that you were doing while you were like going through this journey. I was so impressed. I was a little bit envious because I was like, oh my gosh, I think that's so amazing. Here I am still in like corporate world. I was terrified to take the step that I inevitably ended up taking that following summer. But just so you know, all the things that you put out there was the good vibes, was everything. And I'm sure you impacted more lives than you possibly know about.
Oh, that's so fun because it's
I
like I
mean, you're doing your
remember.
job right.
Yeah, I love that. Well, one of my clients sent me a quote that was like, "Hang around me long enough, and I'll have you believing in yourself." And that
Mm-hmm.
kind of became like my
That's awesome.
tagline.
I
It kind
like
of
Yeah.
that.
just, it was like that's the impact I want to have. And it was like I didn't get into this coaching for any other reason other than I want to have that impact. I want to have that moment with people where they say, "You said this, or you believed in me, or you helped me find my confidence, or you changed my life." Like that's why I do what I do. And
Yeah.
to kind of help 24-year-old me who needed someone to kind of be there to support them and guide them. It's a good
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah. I feel like that's probably one of the best feelings you could probably experience, you know, being out there helping, making a difference and making awesome connections with people. Are you connecting with a lot of people locally? Do you help or connect with people, you know, I say abroad, but like nationally, like what's kind of your sweet spot or your mix?
All over the place.
Yeah. That's always
um, yeah, so I do a lot in Connecticut because from Connecticut. I also am the on the board for the International Coaching Federation of Connecticut. So we have our community in Connecticut. So I'm on the board for that. So very active in that. I do have clients. Primarily, everyone's virtual at this point. So I have
okay.
clients in Chicago. I have clients in
Wow.
Florida. Clients in DC, Philadelphia. So I have clients pretty much all over the place. And then I do a lot of work with the Myers-Briggs company, also doing
Yeah. Tell
certification
everybody that.
training.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's actually kind of the foundation of my business. So there's two different assessments that I primarily work with, and it's the MBTI and the Strong. So the MBTI looks at your personality type,
Mm-hmm.
and what I love about that assessment is that it gives you the confidence and the validation to be like, oh, this is why I do what I do. And you
Right.
kind of can stand behind that a little bit more. But it also gives so much information for me as a coach into how you want to be coached and how you
Mm-hmm.
need to be coached. The strong looks at your interests. So when I'm helping people kind of navigate what career they should be doing, let's look at your interests. When you follow your interest, you're going to have stability, you're going to make more money, and you're going to have that kind of longevity, happiness within your career. So those are actually the first two sessions of any coaching relationship that I have. We look at those two, then we dive into the coaching. So not only is it rooted in the foundation of my coaching, but it's also I'm on faculty with the company. So I do certification trainings where I go into organizations and teach them to use the tool within their organization.
That's pretty
That's a
cool.
lot of fun. It's a lot
Yeah,
of
that
fun.
must be fun because you
Mhm.
do all different types of businesses. Do you get called into a lot of businesses, like corporations and stuff like that?
Yes and no. It's not, unfortunately not a lot of my business that I can do right now with my daughter.
Oh,
It involves
keep
usually
forgetting.
involves it usually involves a lot of travel. So before I
Mhm.
had my daughter, before I got pregnant, I was traveling 2 weeks a month, and
Wow.
just going. There was one period where it was like 6 months. I'd gone to California 5 times, and it was
Yeah,
like,
I remember
okay,
Wow,
seeing that.
I've never been.
let's let's slow down a little here. Um, but it's like I love doing that work, and I love
Mhm.
doing that team development, and how do we take all of our different personalities and look at how we can best utilize each other's strengths and not
Mhm.
focusing on the weaknesses, but how do we utilize each other's strengths in the best way. I love doing that work. So any opportunity I get to do it, I try.
Oh, it sounds like you're really passionate about what you do, though.
So passionate about it. I love it. I love it. I tell people all the time, I'm like, don't get me started because I won't stop talking about
That'd be a
it.
good tagline right there. Don't get me started.
Don't get me started because I will nerd out about it forever. Like anytime someone's like, oh, can we do it? I'm like, don't start. It's gonna be like 4 hours. I
I think
love it.
that's so awesome. And again, I've seen your journey progress over time over the last couple of years at least. And I think it's I don't know, it just speaks volumes about all the great things that you do both at home and for yourself in business. Could you walk people through kind of, I mean, I know your everyday really changes because you have a little one at home. And I'm sure getting on some sort of schedule is really hard. But as a small business person, I mean, I guess we could talk about schedule. We could talk about balance, between your work and your family and time for you as a person. Yeah, I feel like all of those things are so important.
You touched on so many things. I'm like, okay, where do I start?
Sorry.
I'm still answering
No.
questions that she asked me when I first met her. So
I know, I'm like, okay, boom, boom, boom. First one that came to mind is balance. And I am a firm believer. When I was younger, I always chased that work-life balance. And I was like, it's 50-50. I firmly do not believe that anymore.
I was going to say,
That's a
how
hard
do you
one.
do that? Because I can't figure it out.
You can't. And I don't think it's something that's achievable. And I think coming from corporate, I grew up in a like hustle culture where you worked 24/7 and you grinded and you pushed and you did all of this. And
Hmm.
through kind of coaching, I really took that step back. And
Mhm.
even more so when we went through an infertility journey. We went through a really rough
Oh,
pregnancy,
that's a whole nother ball game right
a
there.
whole other ballgame. And then my daughter was actually born 2 months early.
Ooh, that's a whole
So
other ball game right there.
yeah, so I spent about a month in the NICU with her, and through that period, work just took a back seat because it had
Yeah.
to.
Of course.
And so my balance is very much being present in where I am.
Mhm.
And so when I'm working, I'm working. When I'm with my daughter, I'm with my daughter. When I'm with our
Yeah.
family, I'm with our family. And so I got really clear with my schedule. And so Sunday afternoons, my husband watches football with my daughter. I get some work done.
Mhm.
On Tuesdays and Thursdays, my mother-in-law watches our daughter. I'm working. And so I got really clear with these are the timelines where I'm working. If I
Mhm.
get in a little bit of work during nap time or I get in a little bit of work here or there,
When's your
awesome.
nap time? That's the question.
Yeah, and I could really use one. My daughter did not sleep. I've been up since 11 p.m. last night.
So
Oh.
basically,
So
what I'm saying, do you have set hours for yourself mentally that you put
I
aside?
do. I do. So Saturday is my day completely off. I don't do any work. I don't do any social media. I don't do
Mhm.
anything but hang out with my family.
Good for you.
And Fridays are my day for me. So
Yeah.
unless I have something happening with ICF in Connecticut, in which I can't really get out of that, Fridays are my days. My daughter and I do an activity in the morning. We'll go to a trampoline park or we'll go to a local farm out here. Nap time, I sit on the couch, I watch a Hallmark movie, I
You
eat some
go,
yummy
girl. That's what I'm
food,
talking
I
about.
do
Yep,
nothing.
I hear you.
And then Friday afternoons is usually something else that we do for fun. But Fridays are
Yeah.
my day to just do whatever I want to do and stuff that's going to fill
Mhm.
my cup. And I have to say, my husband is fantastic. Anytime I'm like, I
Yeah,
need me time, he's like, give me the baby. Like, he came home
Yeah.
early from work the other day just to take her
Oh,
because I needed time. Like,
that's
he's
awesome to have support
fantastic.
like that, especially from your spouse. That
Yeah,
helps a lot, a lot, a
he's,
lot.
I'll give him credit. He's a good one.
he
Where is he? I
is.
want to talk to this guy.
Well, here's his photo. If you get him, you get my daughter, you get the dogs, they're all coming.
I I don't know. I feel like we rarely either whether it's on the show or just in life in our circles of networking and things get to hear somebody really say, "Hey, I take this time and I take that time and this day I walk away completely." I think that is tremendous as a small business owner.
And that's
So
really tough to do. Yeah, and
it's very hard to
because you
do.
mentally you say, listen, if I take time off,
Mm-hmm.
I'm missing out, or I'm missing money here, or I'm
Yeah.
missing this client. That's the way I see it. Do you look at it that way too, or
I
did you?
used to. I used to.
Yeah.
And it really took a lot of inner work on my part to realize that the more I pushed and the more I pushed and the more I pushed, I wasn't doing good work. I was
Right.
burning
Right.
out. And so, really taking the time to be intentional and be present in what I'm doing and
Mm-hmm.
knowing, okay, I have an hour to get this blog post written, or I have an hour to film this YouTube video. I'm really focused in on that. I get it done and I move on. And so
Yeah.
I'm being 100% present in it, and also understanding that rest is productive.
Yeah.
We grew up in such a society that pushes people to burnout, pushes people to stress and overwhelm. And when you really take that time to say, you know what, it's not even like I earned my rest, but I
You
deserve my
need to
rest.
take it. You
Yeah.
need
And
it.
it's like the minute I slowed down, I became so much more like present, successful, less overwhelmed. The stress melted away. And it's
Mhm.
like, it sounds counterintuitive. It sounds like if I take my foot off the gas, I'm going to lose clients. Like you were saying, I'm going to
Mhm.
like miss opportunities. I'm going to do all these things. And I found the complete opposite. The minute I took my foot off the gas, and I think I did it unintentionally because with my daughter, I kind of had to. I didn't have an
Right,
Yeah.
option.
right, right.
But I
Then you
found
realize
that
how good
like,
it felt.
yeah, and it's such a difference. And it's just,
Mhm.
I've noticed such a difference in myself, in my relationships, in my work, in everything because I'm
Yeah, I have
just,
a hard time doing that. Like I'll push, 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 and I'll tell myself mentally to step back, and I do for a half an hour.
Yeah. And then you're back.
But it should be for a week. I don't even take a
Mhm.
vacation,
I
so
know.
I don't know.
It's something like Eric and I were talking about it. We took a vacation right after the Big E. We went to Colorado for 5 days to
I
go
saw.
see his brothers. And I jokingly, but also very seriously, was like, I think this is the first 5 consecutive days I've had off since before we opened the store. Um, and when we were out there, we've disconnected a little, had to do some emails here and there, social media, whatever. But we have such a great team at the store. And I remember we were driving somewhere, Rocky Mountain National Park, somewhere. And I was like, I feel like we've, and I quote, earned our stripes. We've earned this vacation. And he looked at me and he was like, I can't believe you said that. Like, what do you mean we earned it? Like, why do you feel that way? And he questioned me on it. And and now hearing you, it has really come full circle, and we try really hard to be more present. And again, we have a great team at the bazaar, and we have a great partner at Dusty Dude now who we can rely on. But I really had to sit and think about why he questioned me on it, why I said that. And and we had a really great conversation about as I was growing up, did I feel like I had to earn certain things? And I was like, I don't know. And I really had to think about it. And I think your point of view is so refreshing and is so honest and so true that to any entrepreneur, small business owner, or someone who might even be in corporate can really resonate with that. Because I feel like our generation is on this. I keep seeing it on Instagram, so it's also very fresh. This whole like, I want to give up on social media. I want to have a landline. Like, that is the path we're taking because of what we've all been going through now for
Right.
so long.
Yep.
And I truly think that there's something to be said for that. And I'm so glad that we're hitting on it today because I feel like we don't really get to talk about that very much because it is a lot about burnout and scheduling and balance. But I think you put it into a really wonderful perspective.
So, do you have a book coming out?
Give us the book.
You got time.
So much time. I do. It is on my list to do. I
Are
will
you
be
kidding
writing a
me? I
book.
was
It's
joking.
no, I will be writing a book. It's not happening in the next couple years. I would say give me
Okay,
three
I
to
was gonna
five.
say.
Give me 3 to 5, but
I
I'll
think
get
that's
there.
fair.
Yeah,
I
but
think
I think
that's
it's
fair.
well, and I think so many people look at it in that way of like I have to take 5 days or I have to take 7 days, and you don't. It can be
Right.
as little as 5 minutes a day and just doing something intentional for you. Taking
Yes.
Right.
5 minutes to do a meditation, taking a minute to walk outside and just sit in the sunshine, but
Mm-hmm.
being intentional and being present in what you're doing and not, oh, let me answer my emails while I sit outside or let me eat my lunch while
No.
I'm checking emails. Like, take 5 minutes
Disconnect.
and step away. And it's
Yep.
Yeah.
so interesting to see once people kind of make the shift and they're like, I'm never going back. And it's
Next thing you know, they're doing
Right.
2 hours,
But
it's
I
hard.
which is
yeah.
not a problem. But I'm just saying
Yeah.
they
But
start off in five
I
minutes.
think
Next thing you know,
I do think though that like Megan, like you were saying, if you're intentional, if you've got this, plotted amount of time, an hour, 2 hours, whatever it is that you're dedicated and you're truly focused and you're not dragging at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. Like sometimes I find myself trying to brainstorm things. I'm like, nope, this isn't happening. I feel like your work quality has to boom. like what you're producing, like you were saying, has to be of such high quality because you're only focused on that one thing. You know, I don't know. I feel like I love that. It's
Well, and I
something
think
that I
it's,
would like to implement.
yeah, and taking away, I think also I grew up in a thing where it was like you have to be doing a million things at once. Otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
you're not being productive, you're not accomplishing anything. And once I changed to just the single task, like when I'm doing something, my email gets shut off, my phone gets put on do not disturb. I don't have any other apps open. I don't have anything else going on. Like I'm doing this
Mm-hmm.
podcast with you. Nothing else is open. Nothing else is in front of me. Like
Yeah.
I'm here with you.
Yeah.
And so I think there's also obviously we have kids, so we need to make sure we have our phones on for that. But my husband can come get me if he needs me. But it's
Right.
just like being very intentional and only focusing on one thing. And it
Mm-hmm.
has just made such a difference for me in my work.
I don't know. I'm
Quite
really
crazy.
glad you touched on that. Again, it's just something that I feel like we don't get to chat a lot about, and it's so valuable for people who are listening or who are watching. Um, it's just, it's just so important now because we're so bombarded with everything that's going on, whether it be in the world around us or in our immediate, you know, what's in front of us. Um, I mean, I know I would love to look at my phone and put like those little timers on for social
They
media.
work.
I'm only on social media now for the businesses. Eric asked me, he's like, well, can't you just delete yours too? And I was like, well, then there go all the business ones too.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
Like,
it's all
no, no, I
connected.
can't.
So,
I can't. I wish I could because I do feel so much more present. Even spending time, we don't have kids, we have our fur babies, but
And
I
lots.
feel much more present with them. You know, if I'm out in the yard and they have my attention versus me doom scrolling on my phone while they run around,
yeah.
you know,
Yep.
it's, I don't know. I see so much value in that as a human first, but also as someone who has a million things going on all the time or a million things going on in your head all the time.
Yeah.
So I've
We
come
don't
to,
realize, we definitely don't realize how much our phones do. And I think
yeah.
I really started to notice it when I became a mom. And I would find myself like she was watching TV or she was doing something. And I was like, oh, let me just scroll TikTok. And it's
Next
like,
thing you know,
you
she's
don't
out in the street
realize.
in a diaper.
Well, not only that, but like she turns around, she says, Mommy, I want to show you something. And mommy's scrolling.
Right.
What does that
Oh,
do to her? And it's
right.
the same thing when you go out to dinner with friends. When you go out to dinner with friends and you take your
Oh,
phone and
that
put it on the
annoys me.
table,
That annoys me.
that
Mhm.
says your priority is on the phone, not on the people you're with. And
Correct.
so
Yep.
that was a big one with me is just put the phone away. It's not,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to. And I'm all for getting a landline. Sounds great.
Right.
Yeah, it does.
Send me a letter. I'll get it in 3 to 5 days. It's fine.
Pony Express.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
So
Yeah.
what else do you have? I feel like every time I see you on social for things with your business, like you're always talking about different things, which is so exciting. I honestly look for your stories. So for anyone who's listening, you should definitely do that. But yeah, what do you have right now? Are you just kind of I say like holding pace? Are you working on other things? Like what do you is there anything any
You know, I
dish?
always have something going. You know, I always have something
I
going.
also want to know.
So there is something in the works.
Yay.
I'll spill the
Come on,
beans for
just
you.
a tidbit.
I'll
We
spill
just
the
need-
beans.
Give us the Scooby snack. That's all we want.
Okay, it's not announced yet. I have not talked about it yet. Literally, no one knows it's happening. But I did. By the end of the year, I am launching a workbook. It's going to be
Yay.
all about how to reset, and it is full of tangible things that actually move you forward. And so, really looking at where are you now, where do you want to go, what's holding you back, and how can you actually start to gain that momentum.
Yeah.
So that's coming.
I love
2026 is going to be full of, I'm launching a group coaching. It's going to be seasonal. So we're going to be launching community. It's going to be launching spring, summer, fall, winter. Each is going to have its own workbook paired with a group coaching experience.
That's so smart.
And then I'm also launching, because that's not enough, I'm going to be doing 2 different retreats. One is going to be the mommy timeout,
Huh.
because moms need a timeout. And so
Mhm.
let's take 3 days, come together, have a retreat experience, shut off our phones,
Oh.
take a break, reset, refresh, come back a better mommy.
What about the
And
daddy?
then
Come on, man.
listen,
Yeah,
come
no
on,
re-
Steve, you're invited. And then I'm also going to do one for young professionals and for those in their 20s to 30s who are kind of facing burnout, stress, overwhelm,
Mm-hmm.
really kind of looking for that streamlined, help me kind of get my feet off the ground, get momentum.
Yeah.
So
We can't
those are
wait.
kind of the big things. Those are the big things.
That's huge.
And it was broken hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. It was. You're the first to know. You're the first to know.
All right. So for people who wanted to get a hold of you or on your socials, where can they go to?
Social media is Megan Elizabeth Lye, pretty much everything. Megan. My website is just meganlye.com. And my email is just megan@meganlye.com. We are super easy.
I love that.
Can't forget that one.
No,
Yeah,
I try to
you'll
make
be
it
able-
easy.
You'll be able to find Megan's hashtag handle, all that information in our post for sure. So hopefully people will get connected with you. Are you still accepting anybody? I guess that is a big question. Are you still taking on new clients?
Kind of.
Okay.
I have a
Nice.
really hard time saying no.
Okay.
And especially if I connect with somebody and it's the right fit for both of us, I
Mhm.
can't say no. So
Okay.
Which is
Okay.
I'm always
understood.
open. Yes.
All right. So, all right. In closing, what kind of advice would you give our listeners?
I knew you were going
I
to
think-
ask me this.
Well, then you should have came prepared.
I know. So one of my favorite things, and this may end up being it, one of my favorite things is not actually preparing. I had
You
someone,
just did?
I had a mentor one time tell me though, when I was starting my business I was like, okay, I'm going to plan, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And he was like, don't plan it, just do it. And
Huh.
so it's always stuck with me. And it's always been something where it's like, if you know your material and you know what you're good at,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
you don't really need to prepare. So if you have something you want to do, if you have a big dream, a big goal, just do it. Figure it out. It's going to be messy, but figure it out. You've got this. The other thing, and it's a quote that I've lived by my entire life, is everything you're going through is preparing you for what you asked for. So trust the process.
It's a good one.
I love those. I do.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I
Good.
feel like, I don't know. I feel like this was really awesome. I'm glad we worked through all the audio.
I know. I wish I was in person. I wish I could see you guys.
I wish you were here too. It would have been a lot easier.
Next time.
I
We'll
know.
for next time when you're here.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can
Perfect.
do a
Absolutely.
follow up and maybe we'll kick off the new year with something with any new updates or an in person. We could do some stuff here. That would be
That'd be
awesome.
fun.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning into Small Business Social. A huge thank you again to Megan for taking time to be on here with us. I truly feel like this is probably one of my favorite episodes. We got to talk about so many different things.
Yep. Yep.
And a special thank you to our sponsors, the Bristol Bazaar and Seymour Media, for supporting us on the show. If you love today's episode, be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We've got more amazing small business owners and experts coming your way. Until next time, keep supporting small and spreading big ideas. Bye.
Oh God, that was too fun.